Hello there, my friends, and welcome back to the Brightworks, where today what I've got for you is apparently a cheeky little match that was played on All That Glitters. This is one of those maps that we see the same old every single time, so whenever I pick a replay to feature on this map, I usually try and pick some of the interesting ones. Now, our blue commander spawning in the backline here goes by the name of Jawsmunch. Jawsmunch, apparently from the Peeps clan, coming in at 23 true skill and some silver chevrons as well. Going to be spawning in the backline, and apparently, well, somebody's going to be showcasing a little bit of a cheeky strategy here. I'm not sure exactly who it's going to be, but I suspect we'll figure that out for ourselves. Now, all the way across the map here, as our red team leader, goes by the name of Irken, or Irken. To irk would be to pester or annoy, so maybe that's where that stems from, but maybe it's just a word in German that I'm not familiar with. Either way, going to be spawning as an Armada commander in the back of the canyon lane, the mountainous region lane. I always think of the ambush scene from Star Wars where the droids get ambushed by the Jawas. Weird callback there, but I'm sure some of you out there are going to sympathize. Yeah, should be good fun. As far as our starts today go, it looks like we're pretty much standard across the board here. Lots of vehicles for everyone on the blue team here. In fact, all Armada vehicles. Rare that we see a full lineup of exactly the same team playing exactly the same race, but today it looks like the blue team going to be lining up as Armada. We do have a Cortex, you know, breaking the mold here. Bobby, or Bob High, or Bob High. Either way, the purple commander here going to be breaking the mold here and going for some of those Cortex and some bots. Red team here, yeah, a little more diverse. We have a couple of Cortex commanders, well, a single Cortex commander, but we also have some Armada bots and some Armada vehicles, so we're definitely mixing it up. Going for a mixed composition definitely has its benefits. Obviously, you get those res bots out, and you can lend those to your teammates or just use them to resurrect your teammates' tanks. That can be a really useful tool on the front lines, but typically that's one of those things that we see the pros do really well, and those of you like you and I that are a little bit lower on the ladder struggle to do as efficiently. So sometimes it's best to just focus on what you're most comfortable with, and oftentimes that ends up being the most powerful. Astalgi here going for an early transport. Interesting. I don't want to spoil the surprise of exactly what happens here, but I do know that it involves at the very least a early transport, so I'm keeping my eyes on the air player here. Interesting air start right here from Irken. Yeah, we've gone for bombers here in the backline. This is a strange decision here. Usually this player has one of two options. They either support the front line with a whole bunch of vehicles early on to make sure that you can hold the lines quite effectively, or you go into attack and try and get some T2 up and running as quickly as possible. Nice catch right there. Yeah, Fighter actually manages to shoot down the bombers right here from Astalgi. Beautiful catch right there from the green commander, shutting down a whole bunch of that damage potential that could have been coming across the map here. Scouting plane will continue over, though. That's nice. Beautiful scout of the air commander, confirming exactly where that commander is. Where that air start is, also very important. And, of course, it lines up nicely to allow these bombers to come on in for a killer bombing run. I'm expecting these to be retargeted here eventually. No reason we couldn't blow up basically every metal extractor here. These are three, no, they aren't Whirlwind, actually. Pardon me. These are Stormbringer, the Armada T1 bomber. Now we're going to go after the air player first here. I don't hate it, but we don't have enough Stormbringer here to actually be critically lethal. Big old blitz run by over here as well. Oh, no. Bombing run. At the very least, shutting down some of these solar panels, although the bomber's having a hard time dropping their payload over this canyon area here. Ooh, a little bit of just a bomber miss micro situation. Oftentimes they can be a little finicky here. Aggravator trying to clean up these blitzes. This is definitely a tricky situation, though. Yeah, anti-air turret goes up. Just about the best you're going to be able to do here. We spy also the T2 transition. Always good to find that because it means that you can confirm that they're not going for anything cheeky. There's no big amount of... Oh, okay. Ninja Looter, the green commander, I guess sees those bombers coming in. Oh my goodness. Wow, 0% on that transport. My goodness, that is about as close as it ever could come. Ninja Looter with 0% HP left on that transport. Literally a single HP left on that flying transport right there. Oh, we've got to repair it. If we're going to pick the commander up, please tell me we repair it right here. Either way, the green commander is dropped into the backline here. Are we going to be able to get too much value out? I mean, you know what? Red has gone for air right here, so I guess that's a great read from the green commander, realizing, hey, you know what, if you're just going to be air up here, it means you're not really going to have all too many units protecting this backline here. This could actually be really, really dangerous. Yeah, Ninja Looter moving forward, trying to find the value. Stepping forward as quickly as possible here. I love it. These are the cheeky kind of strategies that I love to see because it's a unconventional way of playing, but oftentimes they can totally catch people off guard. Yeah, you can see Erkin goes into a lab right here, a panic lab, after realizing, hey, there's an enemy commander walking directly towards this base. The D-gun does go down. No reason not to capture all this now that we've secured or securely wiped away the lab here. But instead, Ninja Looter just going to go for the more surefire D-gun. Obviously, the D-gun quite a bit faster than the capture command, so there's always that. But maybe capturing the constructor and building a beamer turret or maybe even a heavy laser turret if you're going to invest this heavily right here. Okay. Green Commander just annihilating these bases, and I think I know exactly what the cheeky play is. Cannot believe that transport stayed alive with quite literally a single hit point. But it will drop this commander in the backline right here. And what can Erkin really do about it? Yeah, we have no LLTs here. We focused on the bot lab, but that's never going to come up in time. There's just not enough build power. And here comes the green commander wandering towards this base. Uh-oh. This is a tricky battle right here. Erkin knows the only solution here is total detonation. Oh, we're not quite close enough, though. Oh, just barely not quite close enough. Ninja Looter survives. Oh, no. This is a nightmare right here for the red team. Yeah, we're gonna eat up all that juicy metal. I'm sure we'll use it to fund a whole bunch of stuff in the backline right here. This is giving the blue team so much space to push forward right now. Absolutely making up for the amount of damage that was done over on the right-hand side. This is just beautiful. He did good here. He cooked. Not quite done yet, though. I mean, yeah, we can move into the backline. We started up a constructor back here, but there's no build power to keep all this going. That's the risk you run, certainly. Here he goes, moving further into the backline right here. We're gonna need some energy for D-guns. Looks like we have a full-blown lab over here. There we go. D-gun finally charges up. Means that we can fire away at that laboratory right there, that air lab. And that's gonna be 2 commanders taken down in the canyon lane right here. Hard to ask for a better start right here for the blue team. Absolutely no reason they shouldn't be able to capitalize this and turn this game well in their favor right here. Gypsy Danger. The Jaeger who could. Losing that lab and forced to rebuild it here. There is a constructor that's going to go back, so luckily this constructor that was sent forward will be sent backwards here to go rebuild a bunch of these metal extractors, but it doesn't help the fact that there's still an enemy commander in your backline. Now luckily Aggressa had the good sense to put up a couple of LLTs here. It only takes about 2 LLTs to really thwart a commander's movements. And there you go. You can see just how quickly those commanders do die to the LLTs. So just like that, the Maroon Commander now inherits about a half of, well, 1,000 and almost a half metal. Very, very nice. I've also received a lot of feedback about erratic mouse movement, so I'm trying to fall into a better schedule of clicking around and then adjusting slightly and then clicking around. It's difficult on some maps though, like with these big rock formations where I have to adjust the camera like this to really see what's going on behind them. Bear with me, folks. Always trying to improve, bring you the very best of the best. Super Toast here, taking the heat. Those missile trucks, they don't hurt a lot, but they hurt enough to warrant a retreat. Especially barring any units on the front line here. We have a single heavily scuffed pounder, single heavily, well, actually just freshly painted medium tank right here. It will be reinforced by 2 brethren. Lovely stuff, but definitely not a comfortable start right here. Ah, there we go. This is the killer move. So this is the part of this play that I like the most. Throwing the commander into the backline, always risky because you never know if that commander going into the backline there is going to be able to get too much value. But because it was able to get too much, or well, get a bunch of value, destroying all those labs and whatnot, that was tremendous. But it means nothing if you can't capitalize on it in the end. This is what I love about the play, though, is that it means that because we ate up all that metal from the commander death over here, because there was so much empty space right here, it meant that the green commander could continue building forces and manage to eventually push forward right here. This is really, really nice. There was a constructor handed over, by the way, to the red commander. But down go the forces for the orange commander. Down go the, well, single remaining force right here for the red commander. The lonesome constructor. And Aggressa's in a whole lot of trouble too. It only takes a couple of blitzes surrounding a commander to bring it down real quick. No energy here for the maroon commander either. I'll have it in a second if he just wants to degun those, please. Oh, there we go. All right, nice degun, cuts across a whole bunch of those blitzes, but they already took down the lab, which was really their main target right there. This hurts super, super badly. Now in the back line, it looks like there's a T2 transition, so this is fairly stock standard. Jaws Much going ahead and going for some of those T2 labs, getting some of those T2 cons out and upgrading those metal extractors. I would love to see that new strategy or that new play style where you instead go around upgrading people's economies. I would love to see something like that. Maybe out of this player right here. I feel like this position could do really well. Well, I guess the middle position could do that really well too. Either way, one person or multiple people doing that. I think I would like to see it a whole lot more. We saw it in that one pro game, but it feels like something that could propagate easily down the chain of skill, so to speak. Medium tanks ravaging the air lab right here. Shuriken's trying desperately, not going to manage to clean that up. And just like that, those medium tanks do blast down that T1 Cortex air lab, meaning that no more air production will come out here. These are all the fighters that are going to be available for aggressive. This is a massive lane that we're leaking through right here. We need to go, go, go. No reason to fight on this front line right here. Way too many units. No reason to fight when there's a massive opening right here. Only question I have is why the blue team isn't taking advantage of it. This is one of those things where that map awareness becomes really important. I'm also noticing a lot of metal extractors here that were handed over or claimed by a different commander over here. Interesting. Oh, I guess, I guess Sirius Black took over the commander that was in front right here. I noticed a missing blue player. Okay, that makes more sense. Anywho, the idea of map awareness being that you have to be very careful when you're paying attention to certain parts of the map because it's very easy to hyperfixate. I'm saying that as, you know, a fellow hyperfixator. I get that tunnel vision just as badly as I know a whole bunch of other people do. Mauser here to try and clean some of these medium tanks in the back lineup. Frankly speaking, the damage has already been done, though. They've taken down the T2 lab right here. Yeah, just like that. The red team knows when they're beat and decide to throw in the towel. Ultimately, I think I agree. They could have fought back, but ultimately it would have been a battle of stagnation and eventually damnation as the blue team continued to creep forward with their superior economy that was slowly transitioning up that T2 ladder. Yeah, the green commander Ninja Looter absolutely earning themselves a golden cow with that cheeky little transport drop. Almost failed too, going down to just 1 HP. That's about as close of a call as you can get, but in the end, the risk was worth the reward. Thanks a ton for watching. I know this is a little bit shorter than the usual ones that I cover, but I do like to cover a bit of a cheeky game here and there every once in a while when I can. So let me know what you feel about that down below in the comments section. Check out the Discord, which will also be linked down there in the description section, and there's a whole bunch of other links as well, including the official Beyond All Reason Discord if you're not a part of that already for whatever reason. And I will see you in the very next game of Beyond All Reason. Peace out, everybody.